Every great journey begins with a single step. And at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practice, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in real healthcare settings, preparing them to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare, we empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our January and February intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
Amazing. Welcome back. This is Kingdom Business Network, and we are delighted to have you back. Last week, we had a very wonderful conversation around transforming our businesses, establishing structures and building systems. Today, we want to take it a notch higher, and we might deviate a little bit from so much of the business perspective, because today we might be featuring more on an inspiration side. And for the young people of our nation, for the young people in Africa, there is a conversation that has been left behind. We've seen on several occasions a generation divide, a generation that is seeking to be heard, a generation that is seeking to change and disrupt systems. But today, I want us to look into what we are calling a young man's perspective. With us is an amazing guest. He's a student at Harvard University. That's one of our Ivy universities we have globally. And I know from the engagements we are going to have, our young people are going to be inspired a lot. Lives will be transformed. Destinies will be impacted. And some of us might also endeavor to take such roots. If I've seen resilience, if I've seen hard work, I think that will be a definition of our guest today. But before then, allow me to bring on board my wonderful co-host, Karen Njoki, to also say hi to us and welcome us aboard. Karibu, Karen.
Thank you so much, Lewis. Hi, everyone watching us live from home. I am Karen Njoki. I'll be your co-host today. And today, the private conversations that young people have finally get to be heard out aloud. I'm not just co-hosting, I'm listening for all of us. Karibu sana Presley Chomba, all the way from Harvard.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Karen. And just as a reminder, Faith Today Television is celebrating 3 years of God's faithfulness. This has been 3 years of impact, 3 years of transforming lives in Africa. And we are so much delighted because this would not have been possible were it not for the support that you've continuously accorded to us, sharing our programs, viewing as we air them live, engaging with us, marketing and promoting your businesses and products with us. I mean, we can only be grateful. And that's why we are also extending this invitation to all of you. That of July, will be our big day. Make sure you come on board. We'll be having several tables for you, our guests, and our packages are very affordable. We also have different packages, including promotional packages live on our television and on our social. So make sure you engage with us. Our numbers are down there. Engage with us so that you can book your table as early as possible. Faith today is you, and you are Faith today. Welcome back to Kingdom Business Network. And as I've said before, that today's episode is one of its kind, especially to our young people. We've always promised that we will always take steps to bring on board the best so that our young people can be inspired, so that our business people can be impacted. And today we are here precisely for the young people of Africa. And for far too long, we've been having conversations around a generation. And globally, the current most vocal and consequential generation, the Gen Z, has transformed, has hit newsrooms all over the globe, all over the world. And we are here so that we can understand what is this that they can see that the rest cannot see. What is this that they feel that the rest cannot feel? What is this future that they endeavor to have that the rest cannot have not envisioned? And that is why we have a young man here, a young man who has gone up and above to dream, to dare, and to do some of the things some of us only wished to have achieved. Our guest today is Presley Chomba. I have known him for resilience. I've known him for hard work. His story is one of the biggest inspirations, and I know this is not one of the episodes you might want to miss. And ladies and gentlemen, it's about time I bring to you, live from Faith Today Television, Bwana Presley Mutugi Chomba. Karibu sana, Professor.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
Appreciate
kindly
it.
introduce yourself to our viewers.
My name is Presley Chomba. As you've heard Mr. Lewis and Madam Karen saying, I am a current student of the Harvard University class of 2029, studying electrical engineering and economics. And I am saved, Yesu ni Bwana, he's my Lord and Savior. And I am here today to discuss Gen Zs and opportunities and how to view life. So I was born and raised in Kenya. Just to remove any disclaimers, mimi si wa Maju, I have born and studied here and currently study in the US.
Wow, amazing. And to some of us, that is a dream. And our brother is living that dream. Just to make it clear, Harvard University is among the Ivy level schools we have globally. And that is to mean the young man has really put in the work. I know him for a little bit, and I can assure you it is not a big daddy, big uncle game somewhere. This is truly hard work. This is resilience, and this is going for what you believe in. And Presley, maybe you can help us understand and maybe walk us through, because I also understand that this is not your vast university. You are primarily posted here in Kenya. So walk us through maybe that little journey, maybe from high school, how you were able to set your goals and believe that you have a destination. And until you landed that destination, you never allowed yourself to quit.
Thank you so much. So the story sort of starts off right after KCSE 2023. So that was my cohort, and that is when I finished, November 24th, 2023. After this, many students usually ask themselves, what happens after high school? What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I was asking myself the same questions, and I was not very sure of what exactly I wanted to do. But one thing I knew, one thing that I was pretty certain of, is that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go beyond, and I did not want to just go the everyday route. And at the end of the day, we all have to chart our own courses. So right after KCSE, I started studying Korean actually, off of my own, doing my own bits. I started looking at universities abroad. I really wanted to go study in South Korea. I wanted to go to Seoul National University, Korea University, and the whole shebang. A few months down the line, KCSE results come out, and I find myself having topped the country because I got an A of 84. So this allowed me to be chosen as part of the Equity Leaders Program. So the Equity Leaders Program is a program that aggregates the top brains in the country right after the KCSE. So it has a number of categories, but I was chosen under the top national category. We were taken to right here in Kasarani, Sportsview Hotel for 2 weeks. You're taken through an induction, you're shown how the bank works, Equity Bank, and how you're going to be inculcated into the bank itself because you're going to be working. Now, I worked for 6 months at the Equity Bank Westland Supreme branch. Through this, I got to interact with several high net worth individuals, several of my colleagues who I still am in touch with today, and I got a lot of connections. But while in the branch, they ran a simultaneous program called the Equity College Counseling Program. Now, this is where it all begins, because this is where they introduce you to how the idea of going abroad, the idea of this is truly possible. So they have mentors and people who've gone before you who come and help you, guide you through the process. Now, I had my own mentor. He was currently studying in Slovakia, about to graduate actually. And in a 3-month period, they take you through intense trainings. They take you through something called the SAT, where you sit a certain exam, and this allows you to apply abroad. Once I did this, now I applied later on in 2024. The first school I applied to actually was Stanford, but I was rejected because just to see that this isn't a smooth ride. And then later on, I applied to multiple universities. I applied to 16 universities on the second round. And out of these 16, I got accepted into 6, which is, as you know, Harvard University, University of Pennsylvania, Columbia University, Howard University, and Colby University. Together with the University of Pécs in Hungary. So just to show that this is how the story was, and just a short outline of how things ended up being.
Wow, I really needed us to hear that it is not a game of a certain public servant, a certain big boy somewhere. It wasn't a story of connection. It was a story of a young man dreaming big. And I think even if we fail to remember anything else, I think it would be of essence, it would be substantial for us to remember that for as long as that which you believe in, for as long as that which you've set yourself to achieve is within you, within your heart, you never allow it to leave your fingertips, it is achievable. You've heard of rejection. You've heard of many trial and failing and trying again and believing that one day it will give in. And it is of course significant to also highlight the place of mentorship. I think were it not for the strategically positioning within the Equity Group program, it would have been a tougher ride for you to actually find yourself there. But courtesy of Equity, and big shout out to Equity Bank for the programs that you've been running. I have seen also the kind of Wings to Fly and so many other programs. I think we take pride in Equity Bank as one of the best banks in the world actually. And if this is the products and this is what you people are doing, I mean, we can only pray for you to continue growing big and being of impact even to our young people and to our beautiful country, Kenya at large. And there is also something that you've highlighted that is of significance, that through the program, there is a mentorship program where those who've been part of the program and have gone ahead are coming back. And now the younger ones are taking advantage to rub shoulders with such people. And now your inspirations, your you are getting that rekindling, that hope, that belief that you had that you can go abroad and study. Now it's becoming more of a reality. Maybe you can help us understand how that has been able to be choreographed for continuity. You've mentioned that your mentor is actually a finalist at Slovakia University. Maybe you can help us understand how they've been able to choreograph such an amazing program with continuity, and how you've been able to continually benefit from the same.
So the model that they've adopted is one where it ensures sustainability.
Okay.
I myself am a mentor. I'm actually the lead mentor of the 2025-2026 cohort of the Equity Leaders Program. Through this, I mentor over 1,000 students from 4 different countries, including Kenya, Uganda, DRC, and Rwanda. Now, of these students, we normally have around 20 to 30% who achieve the goal of going to the top national universities. These include universities in the US, so the Ivy League universities that we've mentioned, including others like Stanford, MIT, big names, and even in the Europe, where we take students to Oxford, where we take students to, again, Slovak Institute of Technology, India, Turkey, everywhere around the world. Now, in order to make sure that there is continuity, you have to have the former mentors coming, former students coming back to be mentors. When I was the lead mentor, we had a total of 42 mentors. Now, these 42 mentors each mentor around 10 to 15 students, giving that total of roughly over 1,000 students. Now, out of these, of course, because it's an extremely rigorous process, you end up having a lot of people dropping out along the way. So, because it's not meant for everyone at the end of the day, you require resilience, you require perseverance, as we mentioned. Now, in order to make sure that people stay, we also put it forward at like first hand. We tell them that this is not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And one of the biggest things that throws people off is universities here or sort of safety. Now, it's really important to know who you are and what you want, because it's very possible to succeed both here and internationally. And it's not just about going abroad doesn't mean you will succeed. There is no correlation whatsoever. It's all about the drive that you want to have. But one of the things that really takes people off is the comfort zone. So I, as you mentioned, I was in the University of Nairobi studying medicine at Chiromo campus for 1 year. So I finished my first year actually, even if I got admitted to Harvard later on. Even in spite of this, because this gives you a sort of sense of stability, it's like, oh, I can continue with this. I can become a doctor. I can make money somewhere along the line, because a lot of the ideas is like, oh, go be a doctor, go be an engineer, go be a lawyer, or go to politics or something like that. But at the end of the day, again, you have to understand yourself, you have to know yourself, and you have to take the initiative. I myself knew that I did not want to be a doctor. I felt it in my heart. I felt that I would not be able to continue. But again, the sustainability is because of the drive that we impact in the students and the mentees that we have.
So what I'm getting is that it's majorly about the personal drive. Karen, what do you think?
But something I'm picking from Presley's story is about it started with a dream. If he had not put the idea of I want to go to study abroad, then the positioning, if he was forced in the equity program and he didn't have the unique idea, I wanna venture abroad, he wouldn't have. I would think it would have been a waste of time. He would have fallen out of the program. It's wonderful to say that, but something caught my eye. Sorry, you went from Kenya to Harvard, but most young people watching us back at home, they wonder that path. To be honest, is it opportunity accessible or exceptional? You have to be exceptional.
It's all about being unique, not necessarily exceptional. This is the disclaimer I usually put. It's not meant for certain people. Like, these things aren't meant for, oh, you're not supposed to have this opportunity. It's meant for everyone. The question is, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to show yourself as unique? Because at the end of the day, I may have topped the school, the country in KCSE,
Sure.
but I may not be the smartest student in the country. I may not be the smartest of the over 900,000 students who sat KCSE in 2023. I'm probably not, and I probably didn't do the most extravagant things, but I was willing to put myself out there. I was willing to risk the heartbreak and the heartache of being rejected, because I applied to Stanford. I felt because again, these things, it's about, as you mentioned, it's about putting yourself out there. So scratch, I would not use the word exceptional, but I would use the word unique. Being willing to show yourself as different from everyone else, because such schools, okay, to give you an idea of everything, the acceptance rate of Harvard in my year was 3.75%. So this means that out of everyone who applies, so they received around 62,000 applications from all around the world. We only had 1,700 students being admitted. So these 1,700 students are not, again, the most exceptional students. These are students who have definitely worked hard. You have to have worked hard and been a certain threshold to be considered. So that is also a disclaimer I would put there. You probably don't want to do badly or terribly in an exam, or you want to be able to put yourself out there. So work hard in high school and also work hard in your gap year in university. But once you get there, you have to show yourself as different from everyone else, because not everyone is going to go to Harvard. A lot of people who are in Princeton got rejected from Harvard. A lot of people who are in Columbia right now also got rejected from Harvard. It's, again, being the most picky, or the one with the least acceptance rate in the world. It tends to give a sort of air of prestige. But at the end of the day, there are certain certain people that they want, and you can show yourself to be that person if you have the courage, the drive, and the confidence to show yourself as successful in that frame.
And I think, Karen, we are getting it from Presley, because I so much believe not every one of us at the end of the day want to be in an Ivy level school. Some of us just want to be great farmers. Others want to be just in the University of Nairobi and pursue medicine. That is the top of our games. Some of us want to be the best technicians. And I think the first and most profound thing that I've learned from Presley is you must have defined your best. You must have defined your best. And by defining your best, I mean you must, there's all the word of God says that we must not settle for less. So according to you, what is that optimum level that you desire to achieve? And I usually tell people, as a man thinketh, so he is. So that which you've already envisioned within your mind, within yourself, and you are willing to steer that drive to achieve that particular thing, it is very achievable. So I think as much as most of us may not land in those Ivy level institutions, some of us, and actually the other day I saw him with one of my great mentors at Howard, the Honorable Kiharo constituency in Ndege, and I felt very inspired seeing, this is my friend and this is my friend on one photo. I felt very good. And I know for most of us who are dreaming, especially with the young people, I usually tell people one thing we have as a privilege is the privilege of time. And for as long as you can see it, you can achieve it. To dream is to obtain, and to aspire is to achieve. So I think, Presley, we are greatly honored that you've come to confirm that some of this information that we receive from motivational speakers and those that are ahead of us are actually realities that for as long as you can believe in something and you are ready to put in the work, the hard work, you are resilient enough, you understand that failure is not rejection. It just means that you understand what not to do. I think even the person who invented the bulb, they failed 1,000 times. And when he was asked, he said, I just know 1,000 ways of how not to do it. So I think this is quite inspiring for our young people. Maybe you can also speak to a high schooler out there. We've seen a lot of unrest in our high schools. And I so much believe we have a big audience of them because they also watch this program from their schools, their halls and all that. Speak to our young ones and tell them what you would perceive of the future if you are in their category. Because we've seen them burning dormitories. We've seen a lot of unrest. Actually, within the previous 5 days, over 20 schools in Kenya have allowed their children to go home because of the unrest. Maybe you can speak to these young ones and tell them, as much as we have a lot of influence and a lot of energy and a lot of, I don't know how to call it, but it is just an illusion. We have so much ahead of them, and maybe open the eyes a little bit.
I think one thing I would say is I am you 3 years later. It's 2026. I was in high school in 2023. I have seen a lot. We have all seen a lot. And it's not to downplay any hardship that anyone is going through, because at the end of the day, you are going to go through difficult things. You are going to go through difficult times. And sometimes you feel like acting out.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you think to yourself, what is my future self going to say about me doing what I am right now? If you think about burning a dormitory, if you're thinking about going home in the middle of a school term, you ask yourself, how many people who have done this and continued to succeed in life? Because you look towards the people who you want to be, and you look at the path that they have taken. If they have taken a certain path, not to say that you want to mimic the path exactly, but you want to have that path as a model of what you want to do. If your drive really is to succeed for whatever reason, if you want to succeed because of your younger siblings, if you want to succeed because you have a single parent who's working hard, or you have both parents who are working extremely hard, or you have a guardian who has been looking after you, everyone has that particular drive of why they're continuing in life and why they want to achieve what they want to achieve. But the question comes in, how far are you willing to go, and how much are you willing to take? Because as a wise man once said, this too shall pass. It's not going to continue forever. And it's probably not even going to continue for the next few months. And my sister is in Form 4 right now. She's in Alliance High School, and she continues to tell me that things are very difficult and life is not easy. And then it's always good to talk about these things. But before you act, take a moment, think. We're on Kingdom Business Network. You have a Father in heaven who is there looking at you, helping you. When I am in Harvard sometimes and things are not going well, I am 8,000 miles away from my family, 8,000 miles away from people who I really know and care about. So you ask yourself, who do you have when you have no one else? But as he says, during times of need, he sticks closer than a brother. So please just make sure that you are talking to your Father. You are being resilient, because you will succeed. It's not a matter of if, but when. So please, just because at the end of the day, these are tragedies. We look at Utumishi Girls, we look at St. Kizito, we look at all of Russia a few years back. Moi, it's quite saddening. But because we know that there are people there who are going to succeed, and there are people there who are going to be in my shoes in a few years, and I might be in Ndege shoes in a few years. Again, it's all a cycle. It's all a continuity. You will not be there forever. So please, just take that to heart.
Wow, and I think those are some of the most kind words you'll ever hear from just a slightly older brother. And as he has said, he was just like you 3-4 years ago. And that passion, that hardship that you're experiencing, he has confirmed that even in Alliance Girls, it is also there. Even from Kabodoine Secondary, it's also there. So I think that has been our first episode, and we are very much grateful for your audience, for your continuously being with us. And in our second episode, just to remind you, we are going to be engaging with Presley. So our numbers are there. Keep your questions coming. Our second episode is going to be lit. See you in 2 minutes.
Every great journey begins with a single step. And at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, that step is met with warmth, guidance, and possibility. Here, learning goes beyond the books. It is where future healthcare heroes are nurtured by passionate instructors who believe in their potential. From theory to practice, our healthcare assistant students gain real-world skills in real healthcare settings, preparing them to serve, support, and make a difference from day one. Because at Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, we don't just teach healthcare, we empower excellence. Admissions are now open for our January and February intakes. Step into your future today. Find us at Blessed House, 5th floor, opposite Garden City Mall. Jesse K. Hospital College of Health Sciences, empowering excellent healthcare.
Amazing. This has been just but amazing. I think our first episode has been quite an eye-opener, especially to our young people. Today is all about our young people, and I know because we also have several parents viewing us. I think this is an inspiration, and this is an episode worth even repeating with your children when they are around, because what we are hearing, the nuggets of wisdom, the information we are getting to obtain here from mentorship, from dreaming, from being visionary, from being passionate, from being resilient, from I think we've learned so much values today. And I think every young person out there, if they're able to just take, even if not all, but a few, and implement and practice that in their lives, is gonna be amazing. And we've just been winding up on a conversation around the unrest going on in our high schools. And it's quite unfortunate when we see our young people, the future of our nation, the drivers of our tomorrow's economy, feeling left out, feeling like education is not significant. I think it is imperative if we speak to them today and help them understand that some of the difficulties they are experiencing, most of us also experienced the same. It was no different. And as the Bible says or talks about the sons of Issachar, that there are different seasons. And the Bible says that these sons understood times and seasons. And I think it is also imperative to our young people to know that this is just a time and a season. And as Presley said, this too shall pass. And I think with such understanding, our young people will be in a position to make more informed decisions, to avoid peer pressure, to avoid ruining their lives when their lives has not even begun. I think they have a very bright future. Karen, what do you think, especially when we talk in regard to a future?
I can say there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to education. I feel like us as young people, our foot is always on the door, then the body is outside, because you've seen your bigger siblings, your bigger cousins, they are going to school, but they're still at home. They don't have any direction. But again, we understand Kenya is diverting on the digital economy and the discussion of AI. Everyone is talking about AI. As someone at Harvard, where a lot of technology is being built, that's a fact. You can't compare Harvard. I won't mention. Should young African be afraid of AI, or we should be positioned to benefit from it?
So especially right now, as you said it very well, AI is heavily proliferating. It is becoming an economy of its own, and it's projected to be the reason why we will have a boom like we saw in 2001 compared to the www bubble, the dot-com bubble, exactly. So in the world that we're living in right now, there are very many ways that AI help us. Artificial intelligence helps us, but you need to be at where it is being learned and where it is shifting conversations. So while at school, in one of my classes last semester, we had Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, and we were talking to him, having a conversation, and he was telling us about where he believes AI will be in the next few years. In the next 2 years, he sees AI being very common in every single household, where it will be used for simple communications. For example, if you want to go get groceries, you send your car, and it goes, and the guys put the...
So you are talking of the next 2 years?
The next 2 years. By 2028, we'll be there. Or at least that's what is projected. But at the end of the day, it is the world of limitless opportunity. Now, you need to be at that space. Whenever you see an opportunity, you need to take it. I usually tell myself that I have a fear of missed opportunities because some of these opportunities come once in a lifetime. However hard you work, there are certain times and seasons, as you said, and there is a season for opportunity. You have to acknowledge it, you have to be able to discern it, but you also need to take advantage of it. Now, discerning it isn't as hard as people think, because everyone is talking about AI. Everyone is talking about how to leverage it and how to utilize it. Now, what aspects of AI are we looking at? We're looking at generative AI. We're looking at AI in terms of like AI in games and AI in normal facultative AI, automation, exactly. So there are different aspects of it, and there's so many ways you can learn from how to utilize it. Right now, people are developing AI tools that help create YouTube videos, and from there, you get ad revenue without even lifting a finger. You put in a prompt. So right now, people are vibe coding. Actually, in the next 2 weeks, I'll be teaching a program in the States, in Atlanta, Georgia, where I will be teaching students how to how to use vibe coding and how to just develop the art of communication through AI. And in this way, they can create their own digital profiles, digital platforms. Right now, resumes are not 1 page or 2 page writings of what you've done or what you've been able to achieve. No, right now, you create a GitHub portfolio of what you've done and actual tangible things that make you so much more hireable or employable than other people, because we're playing the same game, but they're on different dimensions, and you cannot be on the same dimension that you see everyone else doing right now. And sorry to say, as you've mentioned, Karen, there's so many people who are seeing their elder brothers, elder cousins, elder sisters in places where they feel like they've lost hope. They're forgetting the value of education, because what is the value of education if I'm not going to get a job afterwards? But at the end of the day, you have to remember, this is your life. We talked about being unique in the first session. You have to cross that dimension. You have to realize that there are opportunities that are further. You have to realize that there may have been something that your elder brother, elder cousin, elder sister did wrong or didn't understand, that you understand now because you're in a different space. You cannot compare yourself to someone who you are not in the same space with, you are not in the same time as, and you have different viewpoints of the world. So what I would tell people is, please go out there. Please learn more about artificial intelligence. Learn more about what you can do to position yourself in this boom. Because I'm telling you, the next billionaires that will be made in this world are going to be from AI. In the next 10, 15 years, you will see people climbing up. The reason why you see people like Elon Musk transitioning, even if they have Tesla, they had PayPal, they had Neuralink, all of these other ideas that they had. They're developing things like Grok AI. You have China who's developing DeepSeek. You have the US in the West Coast where you have ChatGPT, you have Claude, you have all of these AI models. The reason why people are shifting towards that direction is because the potential there is immense. And at the end of the day, these people are looking for money. They're looking for sustenance. They're looking for a way that they can continue propagating their dream, because they have a dream. So have that drive, have that desire, and please, please, please do not be idle in a time where potential and opportunities are limitless.
Strategic positioning.
Strategic positioning, exactly.
Amazing. And I can see so many questions coming from our viewers. But maybe before we proceed to the questions I'm getting from our viewers, it is important there's something you've mentioned about CVs and the current ways of doing CVs, not in a paper, but having a GitHub portfolio. Some of these things are still jargons to many of our young people. Maybe you can slightly talk about employability within 21st century.
Definitely, 100%.
Yes.
So in the place we are right now, people are not looking for, you've mentioned the thing for public officer, the big brother somewhere in government. This is a time for meritocracy, where what you have achieved and what you know are what is going to sustain you in this current job market. As a person who is trying to look for opportunities, you need to know how to market yourself the best. Right now, if you're looking for a job and you do not have a LinkedIn account, even though some people say, oh, LinkedIn, this is not the best way, they're also looking for money. At the end of the day, it is a game that you are playing with the rest of the world, and you need to position yourself well. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, there is something that you're doing wrong. If you do not have a current CV that you can submit to job opportunities right now, and they give you an interview, or there's a potential of being given an interview, you are doing something wrong. Right now, I say, using AI, you can look for job opportunities. And I see people, right now we're in the age of doom scrolling, of scrolling on TikTok and on Instagram, and every once in a while you have, right now you could be probably after this, or maybe after watching this, you might find someone doom scrolling right after this. But if you're looking for an opportunity, you cannot afford to waste time. You cannot afford to we're in the age of attention spans. So you cannot afford your attention to be taken away from you without getting anything in return, because they're trading in that currency. What I would tell people right now is not just GitHub portfolios. There's things that I may be able to mention right now, but the internet is limitless. You have so many ways in which you can showcase your talent through a CV, through a resume, that will make yourself seem, even if you don't see yourself that way. Because the problem I see with a lot of Kenyans and even Africans in general, compared to people in the US and outside, is they are very vocal. They are very loud about what they have done. If someone was a class 3 prefect, they say, I was the student council president in my 3rd grade of high school. And they say it with chest, they say it with oomph, with vigor. Because at the end of the day, this is not the economy for the most hardworking. This is the economy for the most vocal, most opportunistic, most strategic, the one who shows themselves. Right now, you will not vote, and we're likely to not vote in a certain direction where we look at, oh, this person has done this and this. You tend to vote for the person who's the most charismatic, who's the most voice, who has the biggest voice, and you need to be that person. Think of it like you're trying to get the vote, or you're trying to get the opportunity. You're snagging the opportunity from the employer. So that's what I would say.
Wow. And I think there's so much to learn from that. And our young people are really asking so many questions. I think we are just going to answer them as quick as possible, because we need to engage with all of them. We have Gerard here talking about what opportunities do you see in Kenya that young people are ignoring?
So there are numerous conferences, and what I would urge you to do is to go online and look at the conferences that are being offered, not just in Kenya, but also abroad. You have fully funded opportunities for Kenyan students and for young people. So there's opportunities for youth found again on LinkedIn. So please explore these opportunities. Quick Google searches and just a quick look into it will help you. These opportunities helps me to travel the world as well. I've been to places like Burkina Faso. I've been to places like the West Coast, California, and not just because of Harvard, but because of these opportunities that anyone can access. Absolutely anyone. Just put yourself out there.
Amazing. Put yourself out there, Gerard. I think that is very, very good. Len Roy Sambu is saying, good morning to our inspiring guest. What are the biggest differences you've noticed between how top students in Kenya think and how top students at Harvard think?
I mentioned that's such a beautiful question, because I just mentioned one of them right now. I've talked about how vocal people are and exploring themselves. Another thing that people do not do is knowing what you can do and knowing what you cannot do, and majoring on your majors and minoring on your minors. I don't know whether you know this book called the 80-20 rule, where you focus 80% of your time on 20% of your energy on something that you're good at. And so 80% of the time you will be reaping from that which you're good at. Now, it's extremely important to major on your majors because we are not made the same. We are not good at all good at the same things. You'll find someone someone in STEM at Harvard has almost no idea about what's going on in humanities. Of course, you need to be an all-rounded person, but it is very important to have that spike. That one thing that you're good at is what will propagate you to the highest echelons, the highest dimensions of that particular place. Right now, we do not know Elon Musk for how well he plays football. We know him because of the entrepreneurial spirit that he has. Same reason why we don't know the businesses that Messi has started, but we know him for football. So major on your majors, and that is the biggest difference.
And minor on your minors. Wow, I think that is amazing. Kim is saying, for overseas study, what do recruiters look for beyond academic performance? So,
extracurricular activities, extremely important. I myself had quite a few. Being a president of something, being class council. If you are class prefect, again, make it known, make it loud. Make sure that you are making impact in that particular space, because these recruiters or these admissions officers, they look for how well were you utilizing the opportunities where you are. They look for, within that context, how well did you take advantage of everything that was being offered. So extracurricular activities, academic rigor. Of course, you have to make sure that you are doing well in school. And in this day and age, it is very important for you to work towards being that all-rounded student who can do extracurricular activities, but it's not taken away from academics because of it. So that's the biggest thing.
Wow, I think Kim, you have your answer there. Teresa is asking, what career paths are overhyped?
Very interesting question. So this question seems a bit targeted because maybe there's an answer that you want me to give. I will not give a particular answer because every career path has people who are ordained for it. You are ordained for your own career path. If you want to know what career path you are ordained for, because maybe that's where the question is heading towards, what can you do without being paid from now till evening, then wake up the next morning and do it again from morning till evening, over and over, for multiple months, for multiple years, without being paid? What is it that you can do? Right now, I'd say that the kind of impact that I'm trying to make and the kind of things that we're doing here, like Kingdom Business Network, these are some of the things that I would not even want to be paid for them, because this is something that you feel like you are called for. Now, you need to make sure that it is something that you're doing, and you're doing to the highest possible level. If you want to be a rapper, do not be a mediocre rapper. Because if you are a mediocre rapper, then I will very much support your parents in telling you that is nonsense. You know, very much. Because at the end of the day, you want to be the highest level of what you are trying to do. And it is not about a certain career path being overhyped. Do not allow yourself to be pushed towards what you do not want to do, but have that thing that you do want to do, because you cannot be idle. So just because of time, I think we can move on to the next question. But
I think you've actually explained it very well to Teresa, that for as long as this is what you believe you've been ordained for, then do the very best in that particular path, and it is going to pay off.
Exactly.
Wow, thank you so much. We also have Ruth asking, what advantages do African students have overseas?
Hard work. Hard work is greatly underemphasized here, because Kenyans are extremely hard workers. You find Kenyans going abroad. Of course, you've seen Sebastian Sawe, you've seen Kina Korir doing. I was there in the Boston Marathon when he won the marathon. And then you find Kenyans in other spaces, like the engineering space. I don't know whether you saw that particular Kenyan. I don't know whether his name was Siwoe, who won the Young Engineers in Africa Award, and so many others. Hard work is greatly underappreciated, and this is an advantage that Africans have, because we have the culture of, or at least we are inculcated in the culture of hard work.
Hard work, true.
You have high schools where you wake up at 5 a or 4:30 a.m. and then you sleep at 10 or 11 p.m. So this is not very common outside. You have a few places like maybe in Asia where they exhibit similar hard work, but Africa is is a hub for innovation, is a hub for different thinking. And if you go there and become an Africa ambassador, you'll be surprised about how little people there know about Africa. An advantage that you have as an African is being African. You can tell them about what's going on.
True.
Right now, they want to come to Kenya, they have a point person, and I take them around and I show them these are the inner mechanisms of this country.
Amazing. And would you say that that is also the reason as to why our human resource capital is quite marketable there?
Very, very much so. You have hours that are being worked by Kenyan students that are very difficult to work for other people. You have Kenyans who go there, like right now in Boston, you find their nursing practitioners who they're being paid per hour. So they have 10, 16, 24-hour shifts. And they work on that. And of course, because of the culture that they've exhibited, a bit of rest here, they're ready for it the next morning. And that is the kind of hard work that you need. You need to have a skill.
Sure.
And if your skill is hard work, then you're marketable anywhere in the world.
Amazing. Somebody is asking, what do you have to say about networking?
But networking is very important. Networking is extremely important. In this day and age, I think networking is this is a word that needs to be defined in a certain way.
Sure.
Because networking isn't having connections with the brother of your uncle, of your sister who is somewhere doing something that can help you. Because at the end of the day, that's going to ruin our country. And it's part of the reasons why you're finding someone who is in a position in a company or in a position in government who is not supposed to be there because they have no idea what they are doing and they have absolutely no merit regarding skills, regarding even papers and documentation. And that is a problem. But networking in itself means getting to know someone else and having that platform that you have, building each other. What do I mean by this? So that I'm not abstract. If I'm meeting you this one day and we met in that Kirinyaga space, we move out of that Kirinyaga space into Kingdom Business Network and we're relating on a different front. If I have a certain opportunity at Harvard that requires a certain person who fits your exact criteria, I reach out to you, not because I know you or not because this is someone who is close to my parent or close to someone. This is someone who I know the work that they have done and I know that they can deliver on this space because I cannot allow myself to risk my reputation getting someone who would come and be corrupt or come and do some funny stuff in Boston. Like I would not sabotage reputation, sabotage what we're trying to build. So networking is building up with someone, connecting on different spheres. If you have your friend who you meet up with during the holidays and you go to the mnaenda kwa duka, you go walking around, you need to relate on a different space. Can you actually help each other? If you're not helping each other, you're both sentencing each other to doom and absolute peril.
You're both destined for doom. I think your network is your network and that cannot be overemphasized. We'll take maybe a last question from Ian. Ian is saying, tell us about skills most respected at Harvard outside the classroom.
Communication and public speaking is very respected. You find a lot of people, even with that American accent, a lot of people usually, they conflate accents with intellect.
True.
They conflict. You hear a British accent, you think this person is intellectual. One of the things that's greatly underemphasized is the ability to synthesize an argument and actually speak content that makes sense, that can change a conversation and that can actually impact a conversation. The way you can think right now, the way we are talking right now, we're going towards a certain direction and this is a productive, net productive conversation we're having. But a lot of the times you find the conversations, even in the highest echelons of academia that you would expect, you find people still speak things that you question, you wonder, really, what is going on? Right now, if you're listening in on a National Assembly hearing, you should be able to cipher between nonsense and between things that actually make sense, because that is a skill that is heavily underemphasized here. If you are being a citizen of this country, or you want to do something that matters, then you need to be able to know what you should focus on. And communication, listening and understanding and speaking it out. Maybe maybe Ian expected, is it Ian, right? Expected,
Ian,
expected me to say coding, or maybe expected me to say programming. No. Because I myself, if you told me to program right now, I would probably crash every server that there is to crash. But you need to have that confidence, that ability to decipher between what is right for you, what is wrong for you. And
amazing.
Yeah.
Communication and public speaking have been highlighted for you, Ian, and I think that's quite a challenge that you need to take up positively. Karen, quickly, our time is failing us. Allow me to give you an opportunity to share with us a parting shot.
Thank you so much, Lewis. Thank you so much, Presley, for giving your insights and sharing with us. I will just say, wow. Coming from a young person, I will just say, wow. I know most of our viewers have big dreams, and Presley mentioned something about don't think about the what ifs. Kill that doubt. Be daring. Go out there. Put yourself out there. Be resilient. And it always starts with a dream. The way I say, to dream is to obtain. To aspire is to achieve. So to our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in today.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Amazing, amazing. Presley, thank you so much, even for the benevolence of your wisdom. I so much believe that our viewers have learned a lot. And to this cup that you have willingly allowed us to quench our thirst from, may it never run dry. And may those heights, Harvard is not the epitome of your progress. We so much believe in you. Go and come back and change Africa. And you find us up our ground. And we are going to do marvelous and mighty things together.
Thank you
so allow me to also give you a minute to give a parting shot, anything that you may want to share with our viewers as we wind up.
So thank you so much, Mr. Ndege. Thank you so much, Karen, and all of our viewers for listening in. I really hope that you have taken. One thing that Jesus used to say is, those who have ears, let them hear. Please listen, please hear, and put this into practice. Because we can have these conversations every other Thursday, talking about dreaming and aspiring and obtaining, achieving. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do about your life? A wise man once said that doing the same thing over and over and calling it fate will leave you in a state of stagnation. And if you listen in, you're already halfway there, but you need to go there the next 50%. Please take what we've talked about to heart. Public speaking, confidence, daring to dream, and keeping in touch with making sure that you are constantly talking to your Father in heaven. All of this is going to merge into something that you yourself will not believe. Right now, I say to myself, I almost cannot believe that I'm in the space where I am. And the only thing that I can do is to give back as much as I can and talk to people in the way that I was talked to. I had a lot of mentorship growing up, and I decided to utilize the mentorship. This will not do much for you if it just goes through 1 year and comes out the other. Please utilize it. Please listen. And at the end of the day, you will be surprised with yourself.
Wow. Thank you once again, Sir Presley Chomba, all the way from the University of Harvard. And we are greatly honored for once again allowing yourself to be used as a vessel and an inspiration to our communities. I so much believe that those of us who've been following and those of us who will also follow this program on repeat sessions are going to be greatly inspired, and lives will be changed. And a young person somewhere out there will also desire and join you at Harvard before your time elapses there. So this has been Kingdom Business Network. We are delighted that we've come this far. Today's session was one of its kind, and truly We've learned a lot. This has been your digital coach, Lewis Ndege. And until next Thursday, bye-bye.